What's going on, guys? This is Joey Young coming at you another update for the 60p. Trying to squeeze in this last update for the month. The tank hasn't been updated for about 2 months ish. So you guys haven't seen this since September, I believe, and pretty much the same stuff. I did remove the Liguigia on the back, and we'll kind of talk about just the new additions in here and what I'm kind of going with the tank now. It keeps changing, but I think that I'm going to settle on with these shrimps now. Alright, so if you look at the fish on top first off, they're dwindling down to like maybe only like 8 or so. So the last month, I believe, or month and a half, I had a really bad like outbreak in terms of like ick. I didn't really treat the tank. It's more of just natural when I treat for ick, turn up the temperature and like kind of let him do his thing. But it was a really bad like case of ick. Like I think one of them got it and they infected all the other ones. And the weird thing is, obviously ick is like in every tank, but I didn't add any new fish, right? It was the same like batch of fish, but one of them got really bad and the rest got really sick and they started dropping like flies pretty much. But now the ick thing went away, and these are the last survivors. And it's alright because as you can see, there is shrimp in the tank now. I think I'm going to try to bring back the crystal reds shrimp along with the amanos in here. I just kind of really like them, and I actually got around buying some filter mesh to kind of block the little babies from getting stuck into the filter. Because when I actually had this tank with shrimp, when they actually would have babies, like I would lose like 80% of them to the filter because it wasn't blocked. It was like the holes were so big that literally when I would clean my filter every like 3 months, I would find shrimp in the filters, like still alive. But what I did was I actually finally bought some mesh to actually protect the shrimp from going in there, and hopefully get a good breed of these guys going. The one thing I would have to say is like I'm running straight tap water. The crystal reds before for me, I would say like maybe like 40% of like wherever I get them from, they would drop or like literally just die like within like 2 or 3 weeks. Obviously the water here is a little bit harder. I'm not running RO, and I'm just trying to find like a nice like breed of them that can withstand the water, and obviously hopefully they will breed and get a good batch of them that will kind of resist and get used to the water parameters. So right now, it's probably maybe 3 weeks in to keeping these guys. I've lost probably a handful of them already, and I think there's another one that's kind of already dead in there. But these other ones in here, hopefully they're doing good, and hopefully they'll breed for me. So I have a mix of CRS and the pure red line combo in here. Obviously they look like the same if you were just to look at them, but the PRLs, they're a little, I guess, little legs or antenna thingies are like a little bit, they're red instead of like, no color. So that's how you can tell them the difference. But yeah, so bringing back the shrimp tank. So hopefully this will do good. I actually got some more blood vomit plants, as you can see along. Let me see, along here. In the back, because I removed the little Liguigia, so I have some in the back here as well. I try to put a bunch up in front here, but actually what I might do is sell off some of these blood vomits here, these 3 here or 4, and start splitting these smaller, as you can see, these smaller Japan Shingas that I actually had initially. It's starting to grow. They actually grow a lot bigger. They'll grow, maybe 3 times that size right there. So hopefully, eventually I'll need to make some room for these guys to kind of like bulk up. But this one here and this one here, you kind of really can't see. They're starting to split naturally. Normally with these kind of plants, you have to like physically split them. And maybe in another video, I'll show you guys how to like split these if you ever get these plants. But you actually have to like literally grab like a razor blade and like physically cut down the middle. and hopefully cross your fingers and let them, hopefully they grow for you, because what happens when you cut them, obviously the plant goes into stress and you can lose the plant. So, these plants are slow growers and they're pretty expensive too. So, losing one plant, or now, trying to split it to two, kind of sucks. So what was really cool with these plants here, they're splitting naturally. So all you have to do is kind of like pull it up, split it, and then plant them again. And as you can see, these two, my main plants in the middle, they are so ginormous now. I actually think that they're already splitting into like 3 heads already, like naturally. As you can see here, like this one and this one's like almost like 2 pieces, and this one's like a 3rd piece. So what I can actually probably do is, like I said, with the razor blade method, like physically cut them in half and split them and then actually grow the other one out. The only problem is right now I don't have anywhere to grow these guys. As you can see, the tank's already kind of like pretty overstocked in terms of placement, and I don't think I can fit any more of those. I might be able to fit, one of these in the corner back here. Kind of zoom out, like out here somewhere. And that might work, but I actually have an old one in the back here behind this guava leaf that I'm trying to revive. It's kind of like in transition, kind of dying, but yeah, so I can definitely do that if I want to split those plants out, and we'll see what happens there. So things are looking good for those plants. As you can see here, the crystal reds are looking phenomenal. They're just chilling. What's really cool about these shrimps, especially because I have so many now, like when you feed them, like how like a lot of the other videos you see of people who own and breed these guys, you would throw like one pellet and like a whole swarm would come out and like grab them. That's what they're doing when I throw in flakes, so that's pretty cool. I'm really enjoying those. The Amanos are the first ones to like fly at it and grab it, and then the other ones are kind of slower to grab. And as you can see, the little pleco back here, he's doing pretty good. I think I'm down to three of those starlights left. I started with 5 or 6. And obviously, when you get them that small, like I got them really small, like baby size, not all of them will make it. And these guys are actually, doing pretty good, and they're actually fattening up. So hopefully they can actually grow to adult size and actually see them, because they look gorgeous. Alright, and then on to the last section of the tank, I guess is the left side. The Bruce, man, like these are hit or miss for me for whatever reason. And if you guys ever do get into these plants here, I'll give you a little tip. These guys like medium, like low to medium light. Obviously they can do good in highlight, but if you guys have grown Anubias or any like Java Fern or anything form of that, when you start placing highlights for these types of plant, they're slow growers. They they don't really do well, I guess, in highlight. Obviously they can, but what happens is algae starts to take over like fast on the leaves. I noticed that with Anubias, Java Ferns, if you have highlight, they start to like grow like black bear algae. And just a bunch of just algae on top of the leaves. Same thing with these plants. When I would have it like kind of exposed like this, where literally 100% of the light would hit this plant, they would grow like black bear algae, like just only on these plants. Like whatever reason, it's just on these plants. Obviously, there's easy ways to take care of it, using dipping methods. But I was like, whatever, it doesn't really bother me. The shrimps, they'll kind of graze at it a little bit. But if I had an SAE in here, they'll take care of most of that. But obviously I don't, because they can eat the shrimp when they get a little bigger, and I didn't want that. But yeah, just a little tip: if you ever get these plants, run them in like maybe like a medium light tank, and they'll do probably just fine. When I actually had these plants like flourishing like at the best was when I actually had it with like some floaters. So I had a bunch of floaters on top that would block probably like 60 to 70% of the light, and the plants on here would only get like maybe 30 to 40% of the light, and it was literally like no algae in the tank, or no algae in the leaves. It would just like flourish really nicely. I mean, obviously it looks like it's doing fine except for the algae, which is alright, I guess. But yeah, Maybe I can turn up the CO2, but I mean right now the CO2 is running kind of already at its peak. But yeah, I don't really mind it. Maybe down the road I'll probably switch them out and just completely keep only like the Erio plants in here because right now it's probably 80% to 90% those types of plant anyways. And yeah, we'll see. The only reason I kept them in here is just to kind of like grab onto the rocks, the lava rocks, because I really like the roots that can actually grab into those, and that's what they're doing right now for me, and they look pretty cool. So yeah, I'm gonna let the little shrimps do their thing. Obviously grow out, breed, probably play around with like selective breeding, and see what happens. I might switch in some blue bolts because I really love those types of shrimp as well. I just never really had like good success in the past with those, and I'm kind of curious what they would mix with these guys here to see if there would be like an ultra blue or something. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now. Obviously they can breed and make some new cool species. That'd be pretty cool. And in terms of the fish up here, I might just add in like maybe a couple more just to kind of give them like a dozen fish, just so they can swim around top, and then in the bottom obviously it'll be just shrimped out. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the tank, and also check out the new video, the video I posted yesterday. Kind of a little different style. I'm going to be doing kind of a more vlog style, a little bit about myself, things you can ask me. I already got a bunch of questions that people are already asking about that I'll probably use in the next couple videos. I have a couple other videos in terms of ideas that I want to do first before I actually start answering those questions. So if you guys have any more questions, make sure you put them in those videos, and I'll try to answer them in the future videos. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the tank, and peace out.